All right. Let's take a deep dive into these Medplus Health Services financials.
Yeah.
You sent over a ton of information on their Q2 FY25 results.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we've got the press release, the auditor's report, the cash flow statements.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
Exactly. And we're here to help you really unpack it all.
Yeah, figure out what's important,
Yeah.
what it means for their future.
Perfect.
Uh,
Yeah, and for our listeners to understand, just a really quick overview.
right.
Medplus Health Services.
Huge company.
Yeah, second largest pharmacy retailer in India.
And they're really leading the pack when it comes to this whole omni-channel pharmacy thing.
Yeah, omnichannel,
That's a big word.
it is a mouthful.
But essentially what it means is they're really good at both, like the
Yeah.
online and the offline presence.
Yeah, they're killing it in both worlds.
Exactly. They've got over 4,500 stores across India.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that almost a third of those stores are less than 2 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're still growing like crazy.
They're not just sitting back and enjoying their success. They're actively expanding.
Absolutely, and speaking of success, their revenue for Q2 FY25
Oh, yeah.
hit $15,762 million.
Wow.
That's an 11.9% jump year over year.
That's impressive growth.
They're doing something right.
They are. But what I find even more impressive
Yeah.
is their profitability.
Okay, tell me more.
Their gross margin reached $3,743 million, which is a very healthy 23.7%.
Yeah.
And that's a significant jump, both compared to last quarter and this time last year.
So they're not just growing, they're getting more profitable as they grow.
Exactly.
And they added 108 net new stores this quarter,
Yeah.
bringing their total to 4,552.
I mean, it's almost like they're opening a new store every day.
It's incredible.
It really is.
So let's dig into that a little bit.
Okay.
Their expansion strategy,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Well, they're doing something very interesting.
Okay.
It's a cluster-based approach. So rather than trying to just have a presence everywhere, they're focusing on really deeply penetrating specific markets,
Mm-hmm.
really dominating a region and then moving on.
So it's like depth over breadth in a way.
Precisely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to talk about their, I guess you call it their secret weapon.
Yeah.
This whole omni-channel approach.
Right. This allows them to do things that online-only players can't,
Yeah.
like offering 2-hour delivery,
Wow.
because they have that local presence.
Right. Exactly.
And then they also have,
I mean, it's kind of a cheat code almost.
it's a brilliant strategy, and it's working.
Yeah. And they have their private label product line.
Right, which gives them even more control over their offerings.
Yeah.
And it leads to higher profit margins.
Well, over 1,100 products.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really building that out.
Absolutely.
So I'm starting to see why everyone's so excited about Medplus.
Yeah.
They've got the growth, they've got the strategy, they've got the profit margins to back it up.
But let's flip the coin for a second.
Okay.
What about the risks?
You're right. No business is perfect.
Yeah, no business is risk-free.
Right.
What are some things that could go wrong here?
Well, I mean, you have to think about the Indian pharmacy retail market.
Mhm.
It's getting pretty crowded.
Yeah.
You've got competition coming from all sides. You've got the established players.
Okay.
You've got the online disruptors.
Hmm.
You've even got smaller local chains.
So it's a tough market.
It is.
How is Medplus going to stay ahead in this environment?
Well, that's where I think their omni-channel strategy really comes in.
Yeah.
It allows them to offer, this unique combination of convenience and service.
Right. They can do things that the pure online players just can't match.
Exactly. And their cluster-based expansion strategy
Mm-hmm.
helps them optimize their logistics
Okay.
and keep their delivery costs down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're playing smart, but what about regulatory changes?
This is a heavily regulated industry.
It is. Any changes in drug pricing or licensing
Mm-hmm.
or online pharmacy operations, those could definitely have an impact.
Yeah, that's a big risk.
It is, but MedPlus has a pretty good track record.
Okay.
They've been compliant and they've been adaptable in the past.
So you're not too worried about that?
I think they're well equipped to handle it. Yeah.
So it sounds like there are risks,
There are always risks.
but you think they're well positioned to manage them.
I do.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit beyond those sort of flashy top-line revenue numbers.
Sure.
What about their overall financial health?
Let's take a look at their cash flow statement.
Okay.
It tells a very positive story.
How so?
Well, they're generating a ton of cash from their operations.
Okay.
I mean, this quarter alone, $2,141 million.
Wow, that's a lot of cash.
It is, and that translates to a cash conversion rate of 289.8%.
Okay, help me understand that.
Sure, basically what that means is they're turning their profits into actual cash at an incredible rate.
289%, that's phenomenal.
It is.
Are they just sitting on all this cash?
No, they're not hoarding it.
Ah,
They have a healthy cash and bank balance of $3,042 million.
okay, that's good.
It gives them the flexibility to invest in growth
Right.
without having to rely too much on debt.
Smart.
Yeah, it's like they're building a war chest for future expansion.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it.
It is.
Now, we know they added 108 new stores this quarter.
Right.
But did they say where those stores are located?
They did. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
71 of those new stores are outside of the major Tier 1 cities.
So they're going into new markets.
Exactly. They're venturing into areas with potentially huge growth.
It's almost like they're playing a game of risk, strategically conquering new territories.
I like that analogy.
So what are the risks and rewards of that strategy?
That's a great question and one that we should definitely explore further.
Okay, so stay tuned, listeners.
Yes.
We're going to dig into that in just a minute.
Right after the break.
But first,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about how Medplus is making sure that not just their older stores are profitable,
Right.
but that these new stores are also hitting their financial targets.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we've seen that Medplus is financially very healthy,
Yeah.
and they're expanding aggressively, especially into these new markets.
Mm.
But how do they ensure that all these new stores are profitable?
Well, that's where operational efficiency comes in.
Okay.
It's not just about opening stores, it's about making sure each one is running smoothly and efficiently.
So how do they do that?
Their investor presentation highlights a few key things,
Okay.
like optimizing their supply chain,
Mm-hmm.
really fine-tuning their inventory management,
Okay.
and leveraging technology to streamline operations.
So they're really squeezing every bit of value out of their operations.
Exactly, and it's working.
Yeah, their margins have been improving.
That steady climb in margin tells us they're doing a great job managing costs,
Right.
even with inflation.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It is, and it even suggests they might be gaining some pricing power in the market.
Interesting. Okay.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked a lot about their pharmacy retail business.
Right.
But they're not just a one-trick pony.
No, they're not.
They've also been making moves in the diagnostics space.
Yes, their diagnostics venture is very interesting.
Tell me about that.
They're not content with just dispensing medicine.
Right.
They want to be a one-stop shop for all your health needs.
Okay, ambitious.
Very ambitious, from pills to blood tests.
And is it working?
Well, their investor presentation suggests it is.
Okay.
Their diagnostics business is growing rapidly. It's adding a significant chunk to their revenue.
So they're offering a wide range of tests
They are.
through their own labs and partnerships.
Right.
So you can get your meds and your blood work done all in one place.
Exactly. Talk about convenience.
It is convenient.
But this is a crowded market.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition.
There is. So how are they differentiating themselves?
Yeah, good question.
That's where their omni-channel approach comes in again.
Okay, how so?
They're integrating diagnostics into their online platform.
Interesting.
So you can book tests,
Okay.
view reports, even consult with doctors,
All online.
all through their app or website.
Healthcare at your fingertips.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. And they deliver meds in 2 hours.
Right.
Maybe they'll offer super fast diagnostic results too.
That's a great point. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But of course, their diagnostics arm is still relatively new.
Right.
It faces challenges and competition.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it develops.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of competition,
Okay.
how are they handling the competition in their core pharmacy business?
Well, they're not backing down.
Dude.
They're using their omni-channel strategy to their advantage, offering a level of convenience and service that pure online players can't match.
Okay.
And they've built strong relationships in local communities.
Yeah, we talked about that, the cluster-based approach.
Exactly. That gives them an edge over the bigger national players.
So they're playing to their strengths.
They are.
It's working.
It is. They're building brand loyalty,
Yeah.
becoming a part of the community.
And not just opening stores, but really nurturing them.
Exactly. And remember those impressive profitability numbers for their mature stores.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the result of their strategy.
It's like they're building a retail dynasty one neighborhood at a time.
I like that.
But let's be honest.
Okay.
No company can do this without a great team.
True. Their employees are crucial.
So how are they attracting and retaining top talent?
Well, they seem to understand that their employees are their biggest asset.
Okay.
Their investor presentation emphasizes employee training and development and creating a positive work environment.
So they're investing in their people
Absolutely.
as much as their infrastructure.
Yeah. It's a smart approach.
Happy employees lead to happy customers.
And happy customers lead to profits.
It's all connected.
Exactly.
Now, it's not all about profits and expansion.
Right.
What about corporate social responsibility?
Oh, they're definitely committed to that.
Okay, tell me more.
They're not just talking the talk.
Good.
Their investor presentation highlights their CSR initiatives.
Such as?
They're focusing on healthcare access, education, community development.
So they're actually getting involved in making a difference.
Absolutely. They're engaging with local communities. They're partnering with NGOs.
Wow.
They're even encouraging their employees to volunteer.
That's great to hear.
It's clear that social responsibility is a core part of their culture.
It's refreshing to see a company that's successful financially,
Yeah.
but also making a positive impact on the world.
I agree. Although
Yeah.
there's always room for improvement.
Of course.
They can be more transparent about their CSR initiatives.
How so?
Maybe provide more detailed information about the impact they're making.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah, transparency builds trust.
And it allows stakeholders to really see the results of their efforts.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked a lot about Medplus's success, but how does their story reflect what's happening in the Indian healthcare landscape as a whole?
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And it deserves its own deep dive.
Okay.
Because MedPlus's story isn't just about one company.
Right.
It's a reflection of the larger changes happening in India's healthcare sector.
So their growth is a symptom of a larger trend.
I think so.
What are some of the key factors driving this healthcare boom in India?
Well, for starters, India's economy is growing.
Okay.
People have more disposable income,
Makes sense.
and they're more aware of health and wellness.
So they're willing to spend more on healthcare.
Exactly. And the government is also playing a role.
How so?
They're pushing to improve healthcare infrastructure. Okay. And expand access to quality care.
Especially in rural areas.
Right.
So it's a combination of factors.
Is economic growth, rising awareness, supportive government policies.
That's creating this perfect environment for healthcare companies to thrive.
And MedPlus is riding this wave very effectively.
Yeah, they're not just selling medicines.
No.
They're offering a wider range of health and wellness products and services.
And they're doing it through this innovative omni-channel approach.
It's like they're ahead of the curve.
They are. They're anticipating what the market needs.
But let's not forget their strong financials,
Right.
smart growth,
Yeah.
commitment to operational excellence,
Those are the foundations of their success.
and their focus on customer satisfaction, employee well-being, social responsibility.
They're setting a high standard for others.
Yeah, they're proving that you can do good while doing well.
A message worth amplifying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, let's not get too carried away with all the praise.
Right.
We do need to consider the challenges they might face in the future.
Of course, there are always challenges.
What are some storm clouds on the horizon for MedPlus?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, what are some of those challenges?
I mean, one of the biggest ones is going to be managing that rapid growth.
Yeah.
It's tough, you know?
Yeah.
Growing too quickly can really strain your resources and your focus.
It's almost like they're juggling, flaming torches while riding a unicycle.
Right. It's impressive, but it's definitely risky.
Yeah.
So maintaining that balance between growth and stability is going to be crucial.
Okay, so managing that growth is a big one. What else?
Well, there's always the regulatory landscape.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical industry,
Yeah.
it's constantly changing.
Right. There are always new rules and regulations.
Exactly. So they need to be very agile and adaptable.
It's almost like they're running a marathon where the finish line keeps moving.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And of course, we can't forget about the competition.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
It is.
You've got the online giants, you've got the local players.
Everyone wants a piece of the pie.
So how does MedPlus stay ahead in this kind of environment?
Well, I think one key strategy is going to be to really double down on their customer-centric approach.
Okay.
They've already built a very loyal following,
Yeah.
with their focus on convenience and community engagement.
Right.
But they need to keep listening to their customers,
Yeah.
keep anticipating their needs, and really exceeding their expectations.
So it's not just about selling products anymore.
No, it's about building relationships,
Oh, yeah.
creating a really personalized, seamless experience.
It's about making healthcare as easy as, ordering a pizza online.
Exactly.
And speaking of online, MedPlus has all this customer data.
Right.
What can they do with that?
Well, data is incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
They need to analyze it, understand customer behavior,
Hmm.
purchase patterns, health
So
trends.
they can use it to personalize their offerings,
Hmm.
optimize inventory.
Exactly. They can even develop new products and services based on that data.
It's really about turning data into insights and then those insights into action.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, as they grow, they also need to maintain that strong company culture.
Yeah, the human element is important
Yeah, it is. They need to keep their employees engaged.
because happy employees lead to happy customers.
And happy customers lead to profits.
It's all connected.
It really is.
And of course, their commitment to social responsibility.
Right. As they get bigger, their impact on the world is going to grow.
So it's not just about what they sell, it's about what they stand for.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, what's the key takeaway for our listener who's really trying to understand the Indian business landscape?
I think Medplus is a great example of how businesses in India are adapting.
Yeah.
They're embracing technology.
Mm.
They're focusing on the customer.
Yeah.
They're expanding strategically.
Yeah.
And they're operating with a real sense of purpose.
Right. So for our listeners who are, already deep into these financial statements, what's a final, thought-provoking question to leave him with?
Well, I think the big question is, with all this growth and profitability,
Yeah.
could Medplus become India's leading pharmacy retailer?
Interesting.
And if so, what does that mean for the future of healthcare in India?
That's a great question.
It's a big one.
And one that we, unfortunately, don't have time to answer today.
But it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, so we've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have
From the financials to the growth strategies
the challenges,
and the
the
opportunities.
social impact.
But remember, this is just the beginning of your own exploration.
Yeah, keep digging.
Explore those source materials, connect the dots, and draw your own conclusions.
You might uncover something we missed.
Exactly. So thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Medplus Health Services.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep learning and keep asking questions.
And keep diving deep.
All right, that's it for today.
See you next time.